In the previous two videos, we studied about the classification of forces and the contact forces. In this video, we'll be studying about non-contact forces. So, as discussed earlier, non-contact forces are those forces which can be experienced. That means the body can experience these type of forces without being touched, without having any physical contact with the force, right? So examples are gravitational force, electrostatic force, and magnetic force. Gravitational force, you experience it so many times that when you leave something, a ball, say you are, even if you are throwing it up, it comes down to the earth. Or any such example, that the freely falling body where we are talking about. So that is because of the gravitational force. The gravitational force is basically a force that is acted upon between any two masses. All the masses in the universe, they attract each other because of the gravitational force. But normally we don't experience this because the masses are very small as compared to the masses of the planets and other heavenly bodies, right? So we don't experience in normal bodies, right? But what you can experience it between the earth and any mass, right? So the any mass, say we are talking about, suppose, a ball. So gravitational force is acting between the ball and the earth. That means both are attracting each other. A force is applied by the ball on the earth and by the earth on the ball. Both are applying force on each other, attractive force. But the earth's force is very much greater. That is why the ball falls down to the earth. The ball won't be able to attract the earth towards itself, right? So this is the gravitational force. So there are a number of examples they have given: a coin falling down, a body thrown up in air, and a ball placed on a table starts rolling down and the table is tilted. Okay. In electrostatic force, these are the forces that act between two charges, and it is such that two like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other, right? So as we saw, gravitational force was always attractive, electrostatic force may be attractive or repulsive, right? So about this kind of force, you might have experienced this when you rub a comb on dry hair and then you take it near some small pieces of paper. It will be able to attract the paper pieces, right? So that is because the comb has been charged. Okay. Then magnetic force. So when suppose you take two magnets, two bar magnets basically, then the like poles repel each other and unlike poles attract each other. Whenever we try to this, you have studied in I think 7th or 8th standard, you have studied in magnetism that okay, you have studied in 6th standard that when you bring a magnet near, say, a small iron piece, suppose you bring it near a nail, right? So what happens, suppose you are bringing the north pole near a nail, then that particular end of the nail will acquire magnetism, and that particular end will behave as the south pole, and both will, north and south pole, will attract each other, right? But here in this case, you don't need to make a contact between the magnet and the nail, right? From some distance also magnetic force can be experienced. So these three forces, gravitational force, electrostatic force, and magnetic force, they can be experienced even when no physical contact is made. So there are two general characteristics of non-contact forces. First, as we saw, that gravitational force was attractive in nature and electrostatic forces and magnetic forces were attractive or repulsive both. Then the next thing, that in case of these non-contact forces, as you increase the distance between the bodies, the force decreases, and as you decrease the distance, the force between them increases, right? So that means it is inversely. So you have to remember this, that the magnitude of the force varies inversely as the square of the distance of separation. Okay, that means if you double the distance, what will happen? The force will become 1 upon 4, 1/4. Okay, so this, I'll send the notes which I was showing you, but you don't need to write these notes in your copy. You can simply, or if you want, maybe you can simply study from the book itself. So see, these are the two characteristics, and here you can write it as F is inversely proportional to R square. Okay, F is inversely proportional to R square. That means, if let us discuss this also, if suppose you are making R, suppose new R is 2 times the previous one, right? Suppose if the distance is made twice, distance is doubled, and what will happen? Suppose initially force was F, so you know that F is inversely proportional to R square, and now it will, the new relation will show F dash is inversely proportional to 1 upon R dash square. Okay, divide both of them. F dash upon F will be inversely proportional to, you have to divide both of them. Okay, this will become R square upon R dash square. That means when you divide, this sign becomes equal to. Okay, here we are dividing, no? So this sign will become that of equal to. So this becomes R square upon 2R square. So this becomes R square upon 4R square. Okay, so this becomes 1 upon 4. So F dash is equal to 1 upon 4F. That means now the force will be 1/4 of the initial one. Whenever you get this type of question, that means something is doubled or halved or something, you have to suppose that the initial values were F and R, and final values are, say, F dash and R dash. You can suppose F1 R1 and F2 R2 also. Okay, then write the relation and divide them. Okay, now when you divide them, this proportionality sign will become equal to. Okay, this is because when here only, if you remove the proportionality sign, you will have to put a constant, and that constant will get divided when you put it here. Okay, so if you want, we will discuss it in even more detail in some other lecture. And that's all for today, children. Bye bye.